Hey, buddy, why don't you smoke a cigar with me, huh? What, are you not man enough to smoke a cigar with one of your buddies? Huh? Right? Cigar smoke. I'm never really a big cigar smoker myself. Smoked a few cigars in my day, and I remember when I first time I left the country when I was like an adult. I was old enough to know about like vices and things like that. I went to Antigua and I saw all these Cuban cigars like in a duty free shop. I said, ooh, I bought like 100 Cuban cigars, and this is like middle late 90s, you know. I said, oh, you know, boxes of them. I put them in my closet. And I moved. I put them in another closet. And I moved again. I put them in another closet. And like the year like 2017, 18, I was out like, drinking with my friends in the backyard. And this one guy said, hey, man, you like cigarettes, man? I was like, cigarettes? I don't smoke cigarettes, really. You know what I mean? I was like, I got some cigars, I think, inside. I went inside. I went in the closet. I was like, Cuban cigars. And everyone's like, oh, smoke all these real stale ass, cheap Cuban cigars in the fucking backyard, man. The next morning, I woke up like, hey, man, that's what a lifetime is about. Shared memories. So, let's talk about cigar box guitars. Now, there's myths out there that these guitars and instruments, fiddles and things were made out of cigar boxes in the Civil War and the Great Depression, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, there's not too much evidence of it. You know, it's a novel idea for an illustrator to make, you know, poor people in depression all around the campfire playing instruments made out of bullshit. The truth is, it probably didn't really happen. Even Robert Johnson, who lived in like a shanty, like rundown flop house, had two guitars. You know what I'm saying? And the devil bought one of them. You know what I'm saying? So if you're going to afford a guitar, the devil would buy you one. Yeah, that's not my point. My point is, cigar box guitars, they're hyped as a mythological kind of, you know, thing that I don't think they really existed until like the mid '90s. All of a sudden, you could buy kits, you know, put together these cigar box guitars on, you know what I mean, pretty much any kind of box. And then you start like seeing in like the 2000s from China, you know what I mean, the ones that had like the little peg heads and stuff with the, you know, cheap Chinese tuners in there, and they're like almost professional kits, you know what I mean? Like, ooh, is this a special cigar box guitar? You know, but that's really the history of them. It's a late 90s, early 2000s thing, and it kind of fiddled out. And people were making guitars and all kinds of stuff, man. But the truth is, it's relatively, like, you know, recent fad. So I went to swap meet today, this morning. I was like, oh, man, ain't shit going on. You know, it looked like, I don't like it was going to rain. And I saw my boy John. You know, he set up his whole table and everything. I was like, John, man, I see this table. Speed up old cigar box, man. I was like, oh. And I didn't even have to say nothing. He was like, oh, I got that for you, man. I know it's all fucked up. You can have it. I was like, ooh, a gift? You know what I mean? I was like, cool. And he wanted money for it. He was like, nah, man. So I just hung out for an hour. We talked about life. You know, I love hanging out with my friends. Swap meet, man. And, you know, I mean, like everything that my man John owns, it looks like water got to it. The box is all fucked up. I don't think I'm going to repair it totally because I don't think it's possible. Most of the wood's gone. It's a cool little sound hole, but we're going to take a look at it together. We're going to like fix it up a little bit together, and we're going to play it. Yeah, this is a real primitive one. It's got like a dowel stuck in there, man. And we're going to get a couple more dowels stuck in there. It's got all the strings. Try to keep the strings. You know what I'm saying? It's got like an originality about it. It's pretty cool, man. It's a Fuente. That's the name of the guy that made the cigars. Short Stories, the brand of cigars. Handmade in the Dominican Republic. Hey, Sammy Sosa. All right. Short Story. This box serial number is 106031. 25 cigars. Hecho a mano en Zona Franca de Santiago. Made by hand in the French zone of Santiago, Dominican Republic. I'm so excited about this. This is a moment we can share together. A folkloric time to be together. I'll flip you around and we're going to look at it. Alright, so this is I got good news and I got bad news and I got, well, this news, man. So I got out the old measuring tape ruler, right? And this thing never could work. You know why? This is the 12th fret, and you have to have this amount of distance, right, between there and here. I mean, that's like over here. You know what I'm saying? Not possible. Even if we took this little box and flipped it around, it still would be missing like an inch or two. So, I mean, I could just hang up and cry, or I could find a new cigar box. And as soon as I found that out, the next day I went to swap meet. I saw this guy who was selling a whole bunch of shit. And he's like, everything's got to go. Either $2 or $1. And I saw this. And I was like, well, I mean, you know what I mean? Look, this is, you know what I'm saying? This is like, you know what I mean? $1 for sure. You know what I'm saying? And I looked at it real quickly. It's got some pictures inside of it, man. I'll show you what's inside of it, man. Here's a picture of Deja Collins, man. In Paris. Not bad, right? And I don't know who this is. I've seen these girls at the bottom now. Like, this girl's got like an assault weapon, right? Oh, strange, man. I was like, you know what, bro? I was like, how much on this? He's like, $2. Like, what if I don't want any of those pictures? I know pictures are for you. And I was like, you know what? And I gave the kind of like the fuck you, I'm walking away kind of attitude to him. My daughter's like, he just rolls eyes at you. And I'm like, fuck him, you know? And he's like, all right, $1. I was like, all right, now we're talking, jerk off. You know what I'm saying? This is perfect. I could do it this way or this way. I still have enough clearance. You know what I mean? Of course, I'm going to do it this way, man. We'd have it, you know, if we open the trap, we're to put a pickup in there, man. It's going to be fucking top notch, man. We're going to put good tuners in this fucker. We're going to give it a little, you know what I mean, a nut that it can have on its own. Put some new strings on there, man. We're going to give it a real name. Baptize it. And then the priest will molest it. Then I'll deny that shit ever happened. I keep having memories, Pa, of this man in a robe. And he's loosening the robe. And then he said he wanted me to drink this water. And then I sort of like got all queasy. I remember the last word I heard was rectory. Ha, ha, ha. So, I mean, we're not straying too far from the Dominican Republic, man. We're still staying there. Let's get this guy in the laboratory and let's start looking at how we're going to remove this fucking faction from the faction, you know, without destroying the neck. Right? This looks like it was just for show anyway. I don't think these would have even held. I think that they would just pop out there in Noriega. I think they probably did. So this guy just like sort of made it into like, here, I hang this on my wall there, Charles. Till it ended up in John's fucking van. Right? So let's meet up in the laboratory. Welcome back to the laboratory. It's a static pause, folks. For you in La La Land, I just got to give you some information. So basically, we got to do a neck transplant. Take it over here and put it onto here. We're going to try to go as light as possible. We're not going to do what they did here. I'm going to try to like avoid gluing the top to the bottom of the cigar box so we can open it up and access the electronics in case something gets messed up. We're going to try to go very lightweight on electronics, but I see there's like little cracks in here. And that's like more of a cosmetic crack at this point. But I don't really want, this is not a very sturdy thing. I don't want to, you know what I'm saying, compromise the compromisation. So let's take the strings out from this angle. We don't have to worry about this. This is a monstrosity in itself. It's not really our problem, right? So let's take the strings off, right? And let's try to pry this guy open somehow so we can take a look at how this neck is actually connected to this. Because that's what we're going to have to do over here. One of the only good things going for this instrument right here, as is the neck is attached in a very sturdy manner. Extremely sturdy. Wouldn't you say, William? I'd say that, Warren. Well, god darn it. So the winter weirdness concludes post-winter. We're actually in spring now. Okay. I'll see when we've been denuded of string on our neck. Alright, so we got the strings pulled back. These strings are actually like cut into the neck, really. And I think that was on purpose, which is kind of fucking stupid, in my humble opinion. And so I got a pry bar here. Hey, man. Let's just fucking pry the top off this fucking piece of shit, or cut it open or something, man. Right? Without damaging the neck. Or how it's connected either. I want to sort of see how they got it glued in there. It didn't take very long. It didn't even take half a minute now. We see how this goes right through here. Through there. It's very clever. Very, very clever. Let's get that prior in there and get this thing completely unattached. We know how it's attached now. We're over it, right? Let's do that. 1, 2, 3. All right, so we made quick work of it. There's a little bit of a hammer and a chisel. We got it off. We can see from the hole that it's not very complicated, the way they sort of just rough-hewn it, you know what I mean, to fit. So that's basically what we're going to follow. We're not going to have to do too much work, and that's a good thing. Doesn't look that hard. So let's sand this shit off, man. Let's get it all down to prime, Sandy. Fireworks of hell over our little Eden. Yes, Henry. Right? Nice and great. Perfect. So we got all that shit off of there. We started off with this old fucking gal. Look at this thing, man. That's a serious fucking savage file, man. Then this is like floor number 5 grit. This is for doing wood floors, man. It's like one of my favorite little. I have a whole roll of it too, man. I ain't gonna tell anybody else about that. Cause rare times are coming, folks. So what we're gonna do right now, we're gonna darken this little edge up here because we're about to start getting attached in there, son. Let's get this Wyman, you know what I mean, furniture marker on this guy. Let's mask him up, Noriega. We still got a lot of other things to do this little neck job here, but let's do that first. That was harder than it looked, man. It doesn't even look that good. So what we're going to do now, we're going to find the exact midpoint of this guy. We're right around here, right? And we're going to hold this guy up. We're going to draw some lines on the side here to notate where we got to notate. You know what I'm saying? I don't notate everything, but when I do, I notate it. So we got it marked off. We're going to take a little hacksaw. Right? We're going to cut that shit out. Cut it out, fucking fool. You're making too much noise. You fool. Alright, so we got to cut out totally flat here. Use a little furniture marker. This is a little bit frayed and everything, but we sawed it down, right? Then we just took the little Mr. Miyagi chisel, little tack hammer. Tack, tack, tack. There was a sticker in here. We took that off. We're just going to glue this guy wood to wood, man. Wood to wood, bro, man. Let's go wood to wood, man. I ain't saying anything weird, man, but we got to get wood to wood, bro. I'm going to see you in certainly some seconds. That's what I call clamped. Quick grip at the top, the deep U clamp at the bottom. Holding her steady, boys. Holding her steady. A little bit, sort of, you know, precariously balance that U clamp. It's doing a hell of a job with a mighty, mighty force. We got a big block of wood over here protecting the cosmetic exterior. Right? So I'm very proud of this little cigar box deal so far. We're going to worry about this side later. Right now, we'll let this dry. I'll see you very soon, Sonny. Or should I say, see you shortly, Erwin. Yes, it's actually been only 24 hours. We're going to leave that clamped. So don't think anything crazy is happening right now. I'm a long-term clamper. Got a piece of wood here out of the scrap wood box. We're going to put it like right there at the bottom. We're going to glue it. We're going to keep this clamped. We're going to clamp that there. You know why? Because we're going to put some 4 little tacks on the back of that. Right there. Hang the strings. And I want this all ready for Freddy. So I'll see after we're clamped. Day 2. I've been clamped down from both sides now. So we're going to let this set for another 24 hours before we start to fuck with it, Charles. Jaws don't like it to get fucked with. We want everything based on the top, because we're not going to glue this together so we can access it for the electronics, right? So I'll see you in another date. All right, so we've had this clamped about 3 days and that clamped about 4 days. So let's unclamp it. Then come on back now, yeah? So we got it unclamped. We didn't damage anything. It looks great. Looks like this is solidly connected, but we can't close the damn box. We're not going to glue this thing. That's our secret. We need it to close. So we're going to have to take off some material here. We're going to have to actually go into the wood here. And again, we're going to have to take off some material right here. I'll see you when we can close the box, right? And totally closed, man. Closed tight, too, man. It's nice. I have a little piece of padding here, a little piece of veneer, like that, stuffed in there because there's a sort of a little difference. Comes in and out. You're not going to leave, glue anything to anything because we don't really have to. It's like perfectly tight in there. So now we're going to talk about this little friend right here. This is 2.2 millimeter fretting. Fretwork, man. I happen to have a whole set of those in the drawer. Right? A whole damn set of them. Same material, but the brand spankly, sparkly. You know what I'm saying? So those stand out like a sore thumb. I also have in the drawer one old fret. I don't know where it came from, but it is also a 2.2. You know what I'm saying? We can just cut him down, glue him in, and see each other after that's done. I didn't want to keep seeing you this way, but it looks like it's the only way that we can meet. And there it is, looking pretty as a peach. Right? Looks new anyway, because as soon as I got it tapped in there, I ran some steel wool with grease on it, or, to make it look all shiny, sheeny, and nice for the people. When we're cutting frets, I always use this guy. It's real sharp. Cut off AliExpress will cut anything. Here's our million-year-old tack hammer, right? Tapped them in there. One of these guys flew out too, just from the power of the tap. So I glued them both down. They're drying right now. Noriega drying out all that tequila. Can't be drinking too much. So let's think about the electronics, man. Electronics will go somewhere around there, right? Now, I've been thinking about this subject for a while, man. First thing that I thought about was this, right? And an old P bass when one of the, pickups was dead. This one's the live one, right? So I was thinking, I'll just cut a hole in there, and it's probably sound great. But this thing's real heavy, real big. And we're going to compromise the top because we're already drilled some holes for like the knob and the jack and everything. And that's already a lot of holes there, Noriega, right? We don't want to put too much holes in it. We'll compromise this, this is going to be supporting everything. This top piece. We're not putting anything on the back and the sides, right? Remember that, Noriega. So, kind of like, I don't know, man. This is going to be like a pain in the ass, a lot of work. And I thought about this, man. Right? Got these when I had an old ukulele that was like a cabana speaker. It turned into a cabana speaker. Then I turned it into an electric ukulele. I used one of these Piezo deals, man. I got a whole 10-pack for like $2, right? Something like that, $3, some shit like that. I still got 9 left. I don't think I'll ever use them before I kick, man. But I'll use another one for this project, right? Because it's easy. It's very, very light. Extremely, extremely light. We'll put a little knob here, or maybe a knob here. Jack right there, right? Everything real close, man. Here's the electronicals. The rest of them, right? It's the regular old jack. A long neck pot with a little guy. Keep things real small. And we got a cheapy fucking knob, man. So let's wire it up. It's just a one deal shot, man. We don't have to tape it up yet. Let's just wire it up, William. Wire it up, William Wallace. Right? 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 Let's see if that burnt. There we go, man. Just simpletonness. With a big, sufficient wire, right? So we have that done. We'll put that aside for a little while. What we're going to want to do now is we're going to want to, now that this kind of dried up all the glue on those frets, we're going to want to put the 4 posts here for the strings. We're going to use these little brads here, little tiny guys. We could use banjo strings,
Or we can actually use regular strings if we just stick that little bowl, you know what I mean, and you know what I'm saying, a little round thing through there. We could use regular strings, but I think I'm going to use banjo strings anyway. Before we get any electronics in there, let's tap them in there, man. We get it first. We're going to drill a little hole where we want them, and then we're going to tap it in. Just because this is kind of difficult. We don't want to fucking in them, right? I see we're all holier than thou. Or thou you're holy. Kind of fucked up the spacing. Kind of fucked up the whole deal. Kind of got mad at myself, but it's a quirky thing, man. Speaking of quirky, this thing is quirky as fuck. All right, let's get those electronics in. All right, we're going to drill some holes right here. We're going to use a 7. And we're going to use a 9. 7, 9. Here. Here. See, we're all tronicked out. And I have the little line here somewhere. See that line? That's where the bridge has to go. So we know where to take this guy down. Right? Oh, see, we're all tronicked out, man. Yes. We got it in there. Right? Brought it over the amp. Plugged it in. Tapped on the middle here. Sounds like a fucking charm, bro. Oh, this is going to be great, man. So we're missing something, man. I'm not your pussy when I nut, right? So I got a piece of wood here that's perfectly perfect, right? We're going to cut it down a speck and we're going to glue it on there in 1, 2. Yes, so we got it all clamped down. We use crazy glue because we're not under any kind of pressure, right? So it looks good, man. Good enough, man. So let's get a rat tail file and get 4 grooves going on there, man. So we got the grooves cut out to the exactitude, right? We used our ruler and our Ticonderoga to mark it out properly. Found the perfectly copacetic rat tail. Got in there. Made a little bit of a lineage, man. Right? So that's a done deal, man. So let's talk about these holes, man. Holy crow. So we got a tuner issue, man. What? Banjo tuners. Why? Because I have them. And why else? Because, quite frankly, quietly, these things fit perfectly. Let's push it in there. See that? Perfectly. And there's nothing to screw except for just the screw up. You know what I'm saying? We just screw it up and it's all screwed up. I want to see you when that's all done. Well, look at those apples, brothers, sisters, aliens. Oh, man. So fucking clever, man. It hurts. So let's talk about this line right here, man. Like a bridge. What do we use as a bridge? Well, I've been using these CB Giddy blanks for years on harmonies and stuff. But look what it says right here. It says, great for cigar box guitars. Well, god damn. Finally, I can use something for what it's worth, man. Right? Laser cut. Put him right on the fucking line, man. Dragging the line. So what do we use to string it up with? Well, we're using banjo tuners. Let's use banjo strings. Right, we're going to tune it to like the last 4 strings, meaning the treble 4 strings of a guitar. And we'll just use banjo strings here. We got a 9, right? 11, a 13, and a 20. Right? We're just going to tune that shit up. Right, I'll see you on the Glamour shots, brothers and sisters. We're finally ready to join together with the band. There it is, my spring fever friends. I have a snickering feeling that this thing's going to eventually break. Even though I'm not playing it, it's going to eventually just fall apart, man. It's not the most sturdy fucking thing, man. It makes all kinds of like creaking kind of noises. Which, you know what I mean, as a guitar enthusiast, you know, aren't good. So, happy April Fool's Day, you fools, right? Thank God that fucking winter of weirdness is over. I kind of bit off more than I could chew this time around. I mean, when I first came up with the idea in the fall, I was like, I got like 30 of these weirdo instruments. Let me take, you know, a handful of them, try to do a couple of them, and I made a schedule for myself. When I make a schedule for myself, I always fucking do it, man. Or I feel like a quitter if I don't. You know what I mean? I feel bad if I don't. April 1st, you're going to post, the weird winter finale. You know what I'm saying? But this occasion, like, I got hit with all kinds of shit. Like real work. You know what I'm saying? Things I had to do. Other things, obligations just kept flying in, man. Plus, I had to stick to this fucking schedule inside of my brain. You know what I'm saying? You must do this. Every second of my time was occupied by bullshit, man. And not only were these, like, freak instruments, I didn't really have too much interest in most of them, other than, the cello was fucking pretty cool. Other ones I just thought would be interesting, for my public, man. So I was caught in miserable shit. And then I had to figure out how to fucking play some of this stuff, you know what I mean? Play these kind of instruments. I don't play a fucking, mandolin every day, man. You know what I mean? It's just for you guys. I just play guitar, really, honestly. I used to play a little bit of drums, a little bit of keyboards. Well, now I'm just playing the fool. So let's hear it, man. You know what I'm saying? Before it breaks, before it shatters into 50 gazillion pieces, you know what I mean? I think the strings are the right selection, so I'll let you be the judge, man. That's working. That's a happy thing, right? And that fucking sorts stuff out. These tuners are they're little. Luckily, I have like another batch of them in the drawer in case I have to replace one of them. They're really fucking, right? Again, we're gonna hear it. And then we're gonna say, look after yourself, Noriega. Look after yourself. Yo soy el presidente. Now put on that tutu, Noriega. Yes. The Cigar Box Guitar Resurrection. The grand finale of the weird winter of weirdness, Wendell. Well, goddamn, thank goodness. Later on this month, I'll be back with a 6-string. I feel like taking a little sabbatical, but I have my schedule, man. You'll notice I have a clamp right here. That's because there was some kind of weird vibrato thing. Like if you touch the box like here, the strings will like bend a little bit. Here, you know what I mean? Every time you move the box around, it'd go out of tune. But it was pretty cool, like soloing on it like that, because if I was Jimi Hendrix, I'd be like, fuck the thing. But so it's like, victory achieved, America, sort of, you know what I'm saying? But it's probably best, you know what I'm saying, to glue it together, just so you know. Put my stash inside of it, though, so fuck everybody, man. I don't care if I'm out of tune or not. So as an acoustic instrument, it's pretty cool, man. It's really a piece of shit, though. I guess it is sort of in tune. Close enough. It's not really that great of an instrument, though, man. So let's plug it in so you know that I've actually done some work. Put in my April Fool's Day paycheck, man. Really, it's not that great. POS, man. Put a little distortion on here so we can blend out all of our inaccuracies together. Ooh. It's not pretty loud. You guys, it's too darn loud, man.
So last week I was riffing on, the Epstein's Island, really. I was just being satirical, man. I wasn't like meaningful. I had one of my friends go to me at the flea market. He's like, I saw your commentary there. Now listen to me. I'm right down the middle when it comes to politics. Sometimes I go left, sometimes I go right. You know what I'm saying? But I'm a common senser too, you know what I mean? Sometimes when something's stupid, no matter whose idea it is, I'm like, it's kind of stupid, right? But I stand behind basically what I was saying, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard to sort of like not see like the hypocritical situation. And I said to this dude, I was like, listen, let me talk to you. Because this guy's like a serious liberal, you know what I mean? He's like, you know what I mean? I think he had like a bumper sticker that says, kill Trump. Something crazy like that, man. Secret Service, you know what I mean? Gun me down. He's like, you're one of them types, you know? Not that, you know what I'm saying? I would have passed judgment on anybody, because everybody's, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, free speech, all that stuff, man. So, you say whatever you want to say. You know what I'm saying? Do I buy it? Not really. But anyway, so he went in and, you know what I mean? So justice must be served. Justice must be served against all the, you know what I'm saying? We have an obligation as society to serve justice. And he loves, like, Letitia James and all these people, or whatever, these people, you know what I'm saying, that are, like, running the court system in New York State particularly. And I don't know why he's so big into it, but he's, like, real into it, you know? And I said, you want to talk about New York State and the hypocrisy? About 10 years ago, it came to light that the Muppeteer from Sesame Street, Elmo, was molesting little children that came in to the Sesame Street like studio, you know what I mean? Hey, Elmo says take off your pants, you know what I'm saying? And like he admitted it too. He admitted it, and it came out. He's like, "Hey, I'm a gay man," and that's all that happened, man. Nothing happened. The court, New York court system, threw it out of court, saying it was past the date of, you know what I mean, whatever that shit is, you know what I'm saying? It was expired, you know what I'm saying? Like this shit's like no longer tried. Well, it was only 2 years before this guy was like, look, one of Elmo's fingers is very brown now. Is that from you or is that from Snuffy? You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a bad man. Like, he didn't just do it once. He did it like at least 2 or 3 times, this guy. You know what I'm saying? And within 2 years, you know what I'm saying, he was back with the Muppets. He's right now, Fraggle Rock, he's Traveling Mac. Remember Traveling Mac? Here's a postcard of me with a small boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's Elmo. He's still doing it, man. And he's probably, hey, come here, I'll tell you else. I can talk like Elmo, too. When we take off our clothes, we become naked. You know what I'm saying? Statute of limitations, right? But Donald Trump, you know what I mean, happens to, without any evidence or corroboration, rape some real ugly broad in a Bloomingdale's bathroom or something like that 40 years ago. And they find him liable for $275 trillion or whatever the fuck it was. That's what I call, even if you don't like Trump, you compare these two things, man. And Donald Trump was fucking all these kind of models back in those days. Why would he fuck that ugly broad, really? You know what I'm saying? Why would he rape her in a fucking room? He owned half the real estate in New York, you know what I mean? You can grab a pussy like that, man. I'm not going to defend Donald Trump because it's like fucking futile. I don't agree with most of the shit he says because he's, you know what I mean? But like, you know what I'm saying? If you're going to be fair, you got to be fair, man. You're saying that fucking Elmo shit is ridiculous, man. That's fucking ridiculous. Fucking weaponizing some courts and shit. Now everybody's going to desubscribe, and that's okay. It's okay, man. Do you have the time to listen to anyone about nothing and everything all at once? I am one of those melodramatic fools. Neurotic to the bone, no doubt about it. Sometimes I give myself the creeps. Sometimes my mind I'm just being satirical, people. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking to the common sense party of the human nature, man. Start thinking about things, man. Think about Elmo. His brown finger getting let off by the court. Like, oh, statute of limitations. 2 years to rape a child in the Sesame Street set. Right? Peace be with you all. Thank God winter is over, man. Thank God it's over, man. I'm so tired of it, man. Even though I'm not